and gentlemen, welcome to Mr. Zeno's Crazy Saxophone.
Once upon a time, there was a dinosaur named Clark. Clark was a good boy. Clark was a Brontosaurus. He always ate all of his greens at dinner, because that's all Brontosauruses ever eat. One day, he was frolicking with the other Brontosauruses in the fields, like he normally does, when he heard a noise in the bushes. He broke away from the group to go investigate. He pulled the leaves and the pointy branches aside to reveal a big piece of cheese sitting next to a mouse wearing a trench coat. The mouse opened his trench coat up to reveal many other items useful to mice, such as sticky tack, some pieces of marshmallow, and the last of a bag of sunflower seeds. The furry little dealer looked out at his mousy contraband and said in a midget's tone at an auctioneer's pace,
"Hey, you want something? Anything? Huh? I can give it to you too."
Clark stared at the mouse for a second and let go of the prickly bush branches, which flung together and sliced the mouse and his cheese into little bitty bits. He turned around to continue frolicking with the other Brontosauruses to discover that they had already left to get their traditional afternoon scoop of pistachio-flavored ice cream. Clark had eaten too much the night before, and his stomach wasn't agreeing with that day, so he decided not to try and catch up with the other Brontosauruses at the ice cream shop. Instead, he ran home, got his surfboard, and made his way to the beach. When he arrived at the beach, the sand was soft and white, the sun was high in the sky, and the clouds were absent for the afternoon. Clark put on sunscreen, called his mom on his new cell phone, took his iPod out of his pocket, and put all of his other stuff in a big pile under an umbrella. He then took off towards the water. He was sprinting full speed and leaped as high as he could. When he hit the water, he bounced off like a fat kid on a trampoline. Reginald, the town bully, had poured a giant box of jello in the water, solidifying it. Clark thought to himself,
"Oh, this must be Reginald's doing. No wonder no one else is at the beach on a great day like this."
He munched his way through the blue jello back to shore, picked up his belongings, and left to confront Reginald. Clark jogged back to his house, put his beach equipment inside, and took off on his awesome and totally macho green moped. The wind whipped in his face as he sped down the street with a head-splitting, high-pitched whir. He arrived at the alley to see Reginald, trying to flip a coin between his fingers like a gangster, but failing miserably, because Tyrannosaurus Rexes only have 2 fingers.
What you want, Ming?
Reginald said in his thick Latino accent.
"I want you to cut the crop with that jello."
Clark responded in the biggest voice he could muster up.
You think you can just walk up in me turf, Ming? And talk to me like you know me? I'll cut you, Ming. I'll cut you like a pig.
Just then, Reginald pulled a banana cream pie out from under a dumpster and threw it with all of his might. Clark saw the delicious pastry flying towards his face in slow motion and dodged it as if it were a rabid piranha.
"Banana cream? You fight dirty!"
And he leaped high into the air, wielding a stick he had found like a samurai sword. He let out an ear-shattering battle cry. He struck Reginald square between the eyes with the stick. Reginald wobbled back and forth for a few seconds before falling over and passing out. Clark then opened the dumpster behind Reginald to discover a gigantic arsenal of instant jello. He quickly acquired some lighter fluid, doused the stash, and set it on fire. He threw the unconscious Reginald into the blaze just for good measure. Feeling accomplished, he hopped back onto his moped and sped off into the sunset. He was hit by a car 4 minutes later, because that's what moped riders are for. He flew through the window of a candy shop, and all the children began to loot the place. They danced and played in the days of sugar and caffeine. Clark broke 3 legs and punctured a lung, but he was okay. Everyone got candy and Clark stepped on a turtle.